Greetings and welcome back to The Booth, the first and only podcast dedicated solely to WVU women's basketball. I'm Chad Adkins, and I have the extreme pleasure of being joined by the cog in the gears, the fuel in the engine, the fluid in the hydraulics that keeps the WVU women's basketball team machine going, Director of Operations, Kayla Scott. How are you doing, Kayla?
Good. Thank you for having me.
And Shane Terrace there, too. We're recording in the basement bar booth of Mario's Fishbowl Suncrest on University Avenue in Morgantown, West Virginia, home of the world-famous Fishbowl.
All right, my favorite part.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
This is a good part of the
Cheers.
podcast right here. But before we get into it, I'd like to give a shout out to our title sponsor, Tri-County Electric. They specialize in electrical services for large-scale commercial, institutional, and industrial projects. As an electrical service contractor, they design and construct power distribution and data communication systems in diverse and complex environments, including healthcare, manufacturing, and biotech facilities. They also handle heavy industrial and hazardous locations, in addition to private and public sector environments. Visit pinline.com/services/Tri-County Electric or call 724-887-9110 for more information. All right. Thanks, Tri-County. We really appreciate it. You know, great sponsors. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, should I even give that? Well, we've got a nod that they're going to
We got a little
sponsor
bit
us
of time
next
to go,
year.
but yeah, they
they're
did.
sponsor.
They came visit us at the game this weekend, and
Yeah, we're not that big of an embarrassment, I
Yeah.
swear. But welcome, Kayla. We appreciate you coming
Thanks for
to the
having me.
booth. Now I'm going to start off with the most important question I've asked everybody that's coming on here. Well, I forgot about Kylie. Have you had a pepperoni roll yet?
I have.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey.
you beat the par there, man. Everybody's like, well, what? I mean, people have been here for years.
you don't know how happy that makes Chad.
It does. It
I
does.
I
It
think
means
the only reason I had one was because I was at Kaylee Kellogg's high school basketball game and I was starving and it's the only thing
Probably they think-
available. So that's why I've had one.
See,
Maybe one
I-
at a football game.
Chad, this is probably going to upset you, but I like a pepperoni roll, but it's usually not my top choice of food.
But it is West Virginia.
It's a good snack.
It will always work. It will always work.
It'll do the job.
They got some
Travels
fancy ones
well.
down here at Tierra Cafe or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They got fancy ones. It looks like a broche bun, and you have to cut it with like a knife and stuff. It's
Mhm.
pretty fancy. But I mean, this is new stuff to you because you were born in Texas, correct?
Yes.
In what's it called?
I was born in Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, but you
Yeah.
were raised in
Azle.
Azle. That's right,
Yeah.
Azle, Texas. I mean, even after it kind of falls into the pepperoni roll question, but even after you got out of college there, you kind of coached and you worked and lived a lot in the Southwest. Was it a big adjustment to come up to the Northeast here into West Virginia?
No, not really. I can really live anywhere. I've lived out in the middle of nowhere. I've lived in bigger cities. I've lived in army based cities. So
Wow.
I can really everywhere I've lived has had a little bit different feel.
Mhm.
So I like it. It wasn't too big of an adjustment.
Just roll with it. Huh?
Yeah, just roll with it. You kind of have to.
Yeah. And you get, and it's fun to do that too.
Yeah.
Quite because I mean, you were changing jobs like every year there for a bit,
Yeah, for early in my career, I did, but that's kind of normal, I would say. If you
Reaching
can move
out.
up, you move up, and that's what I did. And then I was at Stephen F. Austin for a long time.
Yeah, you were there, what, 5.5, 6 years? I
6
believe?
years, which is a long time in the coaching world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that kind of leads into a question I had, though. He brought Coach Misa with him from SFA, and when given the opportunity, Coach Grayson left UMKC. What is it about his leadership style that, you were like out for a year at Arizona, which is Power 4 school,
yeah.
Power 5 at the time, now Power 4. But what was it about his leadership style? What was it like? Oh, he's being head coach at WVU. I'm out, man. I'm there.
I think for one, he gave me a chance. He took a chance on me when he hired me first time. I was, I think, I was 25 years old. I had coaching experience, and where I was at coaching, it was just me and the head coach, or maybe one more assistant. So all the things I do now, I was doing on top of coaching. I'm at a lower level, but still doing. And so he just trusted that I could do the job. And it's a big task. And so one, I'm grateful for him, for taking a chance on me. I always joke with him. I'm all he knows. So I'm just like, messing with him. He doesn't know what's out there because I'm all he knows. But, he's a great leader. He's a great boss. The thing with him is so many things don't even have to go being said because he shows it every day in his actions, what he wants done. So he's the hardest worker I know. He's the first to
Everybody
office,
said that.
last
Everybody
to
said
leave.
that.
And the standards are right in front of you, so without even being said. And he entrusts his staff to do their job, and he doesn't micromanage, and that's huge for me.
Yes.
And then if something goes wrong, he's going to address it. But I think being on a staff where you have a boss that trusts you to do your job at a high level makes a world of a difference.
So, you've been obviously at several different levels, and so has Coach Kellogg. I don't remember if it was Caden that I was talking to, and he's like, Coach is still grabbing stuff off the bus.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's that guy.
Yeah. No, he is. He's not afraid to do anything. No job is too big or too small. 3 a.m. we get home, and at SFA it's the same thing. We'll be riding a bus for 8 hours. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's raining, and he's the first one under the bus pulling those bags off, and he does it here too. So
nice. Well, I mean, and that kind of brings in, you first started coaching, first couple of years, you moved around, and then that's when you switched to community relations with the soccer federation, correct?
Oh, no. So I worked with U.S. Soccer on the side a little bit when I was at Stephen F. Austin.
Oh, okay.
Coach Kellogg allowed me to do that. None of us really made much money at SFA, especially me. And so it was just an opportunity for me to make a little bit extra money.
But why did you switch from being a coach? I guess my question is to
operations.
Operations side.
So,
what made you make that decision?
Yeah. So when I was coaching, like I said, I did a little bit of everything, and it made me, through those few years of coaching, made me realize that I really like the behind the scenes stuff better. And that's where my strengths and passions were. And so my boss at Cameron, which is Division II school, he said, Kayla, I think you'd be a really good director of operations. Like, you handle all this stuff really good. You'd be a good coach too. But I had already talked to him about possibly getting out of coaching. And I didn't even know being what we call a DOBO, director of basketball operations, existed. I didn't even know that was a position. I played Division III basketball, coached JUCO, coached G2. I had no really familiarity with Division I basketball and their staffs. And so when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I would like that. It took me a year and a half to get a position, but I got it. Maybe a year. So yeah, I think just through experience and figuring out what I was good at and what I enjoyed doing.
You're just one of those people who likes organization, aren't you?
Yeah, for the most part.
I think you'd have to
kind of have to, yeah.
To deal with everything that you got to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
All right. Now, that's what we were thinking. We watch you at the games. You're pretty focused, and that's a question we have: either focused or stoic.
Stoic or focused?
That's a question we have. Yeah, give me that. Give me a stoic or focused. What are you?
Probably a little bit of both. It depends on the situation. I would say in my day-to-day, I'm pretty stoic. In games, I'm focused. I get excited and a little riled up, but I have my stat sheet that I take, and it requires me to stay focused on both ends of the floor, so I can't get too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we've had several interactions, different functions and stuff going on, and you've always seemed either stoic or focused, because probably everything that you're involved in, you've got something to do.
Something is going through my brain.
So, yeah.
I say I always have my game face on. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So since you're so meticulous, you like to organize, well, I'm going to pull a date out and see if you can remember this.
Oh, gosh.
All right. January 8th, 2008. What were you doing?
January 8th, 2008. That would have been my senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably playing basketball or soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Was that when I hit 9 threes?
Yeah, it was. Good Saginaw.
You got it. You
Yeah, I got
it.
into USA Today, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool experience.
Were they like your rivals? Because it looked like they're like right across the lake or something. There.
Yeah, in the Dallas Fort Worth area, a lot of times there's so many schools,
Uh-huh.
and there's so many like bigger schools that you're all the schools you just drive 15 minutes and you're at your game. So
Yeah.
it's not
You got a lot of
Yeah, you don't have to drive
around.
three hours to play a high school game. It's 30 minutes max.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, they probably is the other side of the lake, the Battle of the Lake.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a memory that you still have, though.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Was it 9 to 17 or 9 to 13? I can't remember.
I don't know. I know I tied the school record points in a game for that.
38.
And I missed like 3 free throws. I was so mad. I think it still is the school record, actually.
Wow, nice. You were a little bit up and down your senior year, though. It was like one game you'd have 38, one game you'd have 5.
Yeah, I think it just depended on if the team game plan that we were playing against or not. So
yeah. All right. Now, Kayla, this is just personal bone that me and Shane like to pick, but you got too many K names on the team. When I want to say Kaya, Kylie, and Kayla, every time I say one of your names, I try to mix them all up together. Kylie or something, it's tough.
I was waiting with suspense on whether you was going to get it right on the intro.
yeah, I mix them up too all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't feel bad.
See, I hang out with a bunch of Chads, so it's just easy. I got cousin Chad, big Chad, little Chad. Everybody's Chad in my life, so I don't screw it up
don't
very
mess
often.
anything up.
All right. Let's get into the X's and O's, what you do here.
All right.
So how far out do you start planning? I mean, the road trips have got to be your bread and butter where you're doing the most stuff. I mean, how far out do you start playing? Probably as soon as the schedule comes out.
Yeah, as soon as the schedule comes out. Thankfully, here we play a lot of home games in the non-conference, so not a whole lot in that realm before conference play starts. Maybe 1 or 2 games and then a tournament. I would say probably as soon as the schedule comes out, I'm looking at flights, or not looking at flights, but booking our charter flights and our buses. And then I start going to hotels. Usually, so the tough part about the Big 12 is a lot of times they'll pair like a men's and women's game on the same weekend. It might not be it might not be a double header, but the men get their schedule before we do. So I jump on it immediately because other teams have said if you don't jump on it immediately, then you might not get. Some of these towns only have one decent hotel. Well, the men have already booked it because they got their schedule 2 weeks before ours. So I try to get in there, get our hotels booked. A lot of the places we've traveled, I've been to multiple times, so I know where I like to stay. If I don't, I start doing research on hotels. We have a travel agent that helps me with that, so she'll reach out and give her a list of all the things that we need from the hotel. All the way from meeting space to how many rooms to types of rooms to food, all that kind of stuff. So they help with that. And then probably 3 weeks out from a trip, I really start building the itinerary, maybe even further out, depending on how long the trip is. So we go to Houston on Friday, for instance, and we stay on the road and we play Baylor on Tuesday. I started on that trip before we left for Arizona because I knew as soon as we got back, it would be too late. So it just kind of depends on how the schedule works out, how much time I have in between trips.
I was going to ask that too, if you guys were going to come back for the.
No, we have 3 5-day trips this year in conference. So that's a lot. Last year we had 2. It's a lot. They're long trips. But
these are all new. Well, you were in the Pac-12 for a minute with Arizona.
Yep. So I went to Colorado.
Yeah. So you kind of know
Arizona,
at least some of those, right?
Yeah, and then being from Texas, I've been to Lubbock a couple times. We played SFA. Or at SFA, we played Texas Tech. Been to Houston plenty times. Same with Waco, Fort Worth. So
how many rooms we talking? Well, you got probably players
double
up.
Yeah, so the players all double up. Our managers will double up. Some support staff will double up. For the most part, all full-time support staff get their own room. It depends on the trip. So when we go on a one-night trip, we take 30-seater planes. So when we have 30 people, it's 23, 24 rooms probably. And then when we take bigger planes, we'll travel anywhere from 35 to 50 people. and it'll be closer to 28 to 33 rooms. We went out to Arizona. We took a lot of people with us just to, they kind of use it as like site visits. So our facilities guy, our nutritionist, academic advisor, compliance, a bunch of extra people, marketing. So that one, we had 33 rooms at each hotel. And that was with doubling up support staff.
It's hard to find vacancy for that.
Yeah, and that's why I reach out way in
Yeah,
advance,
yeah.
especially with like meeting space too. The biggest thing is meeting space.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it must be crazy for like the Big 12 tournament. I mean, you got all the. I mean, the Power and Light District has the hotels down there, a ton
Right.
of them right there. But I mean, my gosh, it still must be like trying to pick one. I mean, we got our rooms for this year's tournament. What, 3 months ago we picked them up?
Yeah.
You know?
I've already signed a contract on rooms for 2027.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow,
Well,
you're
see.
that far ahead.
Yeah.
My only beef is, and it just stinks. It's got to be in Kansas City every year. That's
Yeah.
not fair.
I wish they would rotate it between three, especially now that the footprint of the Big 12 is so spread out. So
Yeah.
maybe, it's in Vegas or Phoenix or something one
Yeah.
year, and then Kansas City, then Dallas or Oklahoma City, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing on the scene. I mean, it's great down there.
It's a great
It's just
setup.
it's a major advantage for
It's a-
K
For
State,
three
Kansas,
teams,
and Iowa
yes.
State. Which at the same time, those are the three teams with the biggest fan bases for basketball. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
except for you saw the numbers, I'm sure, for the Saturday's game.
Yeah,
52. What was it?
Iowa
52,
State's
30?
pulling 10.
Yeah, no, I mean, but
It was
K-
what?
Iowa State
Pulling
pulls
10.
10.
Really?
And
Okay.
K State pulls 8. So, and they're close by, and they're going to show up for men and women. So
Yeah.
the Big 12 has to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
no, that was, I guess, eye-opening there to see what a disadvantage it is for other teams to be in that facility.
Yeah.
that it is now.
We got interviewed by a couple people just because we had WVU stuff on and they could not find anybody else
Yeah. No.
in the entire Power and Light District besides us, me and him at the games,
Yeah.
besides the family. you
Hopefully,
know.
we have more people travel out. I know they're actually, I pushed marketing and ticketing to offer packages.
See?
They're offered at least tickets, being able to buy tickets through our ticket office.
Mhm.
Because in the past, they have not done that. And I've
Yeah.
had multiple people ask. And so I believe they've started doing that. So.
Nice. That's good.
See, we never buy tickets. We just we dress as pizza guys, and they let us come right
Yeah.
in and take it off. I'm just kidding. It's an idea. Why don't
It is. We
It's
need
not
to
a
do
bad
that.
idea.
We
Yeah.
need to do
I'm
that.
delivering for the teams, and they're just like, okay.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
catering.
Can we scan your card or something like your pass and we'll just put our pictures on there?
Yeah.
We're with the team. So I mean, you must be the point of contact for everything. Like when you get there, you've got to contact all these people. I mean, it must be pretty crazy when you're on the road. I mean, how much time do you have actually for basketball related things?
Well, I mean, it's all basketball related, but
Actually ball.
Yeah, so I always say my job is to make sure to do my job at the highest level so that our players and coaches can coach and play at the highest level. So they don't have to worry about anything else.
Exactly.
So on road trips, I'm not really worried about basketball. When game time comes, I'm worried about basketball. But other than like practice times and things like that, I'm just making sure that the food's there on time and ready, that our rooms are ready to go, that they have the correct rooming list. A lot of times I'll send a new rooming list and they have one that I sent them 3 months ago and it's just a mess. That our meeting space is open, all those kinds of things is more of my responsibility, more so than the bouncing of the ball. But yeah, I try to make sure everything's handled so that the ball can bounce.
Excellent.
You show up at the hotel and all the players are rolling out and they're just going to bed and you're
Yeah, I'm still
now
going.
everything starts.
Yeah, I'm usually the first one off the bus. The managers then get off the bus and start unloading all the bags. I go up to the front desk, get all the keys, and then so as soon as the girls have found their bag and gotten in, I'm passing out room keys. So it's pretty seamless. Doesn't usually take too long unless they don't write the names on the keys or something, which happened at Arizona State, which is just a pain. But
Traveling can't be easy, but it's probably easier at this level than it is.
as far as yes.
You're not on a bus.
We're not on a bus for 8 hours. We're not driving overnight. It's still a lot. I wish we could fly out of Morgantown. That would make it a heck of a lot easier. We do sometimes, depending on the trip, but we usually have to go down to Clarksburg, so that adds a whole nother hour.
I know we got, and Shane doesn't like it because we don't get back here till midnight, but we actually are flying out of Morgantown round trip for the Kansas City thing.
Through-
$320
Through
round trip.
United.
Chicago.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, $320 round trip. So there's
That's
no
not bad.
excuse for anybody not to go to the Big
Yeah.
12 tournament.
There.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The hotel was like 4 times as much as the
Yeah, I bet.
airfare, but we're right there at the President. You know,
Yeah.
the one right
Mhm.
there.
Yep, I've been there before.
We went there last year and we probably spent as much Ubering back and forth as we.
From our Airbnb
Yeah.
as we
Ubers
did.
are expensive now.
Yeah.
Really, really expensive.
Yeah, it's good.
That is an awesome place. If anyone has the opportunity to get out there, check it out. Come see this team
Yeah.
play.
Yep. Now you did have to deal with stuff. You guys got a bunch of cruddy snow out there for a minute, on this trip. Did you have to do much pivoting with that?
So when we went to Lubbock and Stillwater,
Uh-huh.
it was more so issues with getting in and out of here. So
Uh-huh.
we ended up having to go out to Pittsburgh to fly out. So that added another hour and a half to our trip. On that flight, we already had where we had to do a fuel stop on the plane. So we had to stop in Arkansas to refuel to fly another 45 minutes. I think
Yeah.
it was like because we're taking the same plane to Houston. We don't have to fuel stop. It's like a 50-mile difference that on that plane, it can't make it to Lubbock, but it can make it to Houston.
Oh my God.
So we already had to do that, and that was a pain. We get to Lubbock, the weather's fine. We play. It didn't start snowing till we had to go to Stillwater. Thankfully, we could still fly. But we had to land in Oklahoma City instead of Stillwater, so that's another hour. It was an hour and a half bus ride because of the weather. The snow was pretty bad.
Was
but
there any shoot arounds? You guys even? No, that was the men that didn't even get to shoot.
we didn't.
around.
We actually didn't miss any practices or anything like that. Coach Kellogg is big time on practice before we ever leave.
Yeah.
So if you have any travel issues, you practiced.
Yeah.
Sometimes, teams will be like, oh, we're practicing when we get there, and then they have delay, and they don't get to practice. So we always practice before we leave. But yeah, we got to Stillwater, ate dinner, and we were done. Thankfully, they cleared the runway and everything after our game on Saturday, so we were able to fly out of Stillwater, but we still couldn't get into Clarksburg, so we had to go to Pittsburgh after that tough
Oh, my
loss. And then we land in Pittsburgh, and our bus isn't there because they never dispatched it to Pittsburgh. They sent it to Clarksburg. So we had to wait on another bus, and that took another 45 minutes. So that was rough. Had we won, it would have been on.
Yeah. Whatever.
But the loss made that was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the games later, and we're going to talk about how good you guys looked, out at Arizona State, and then something happened, and then you looked great against Oak State. We're not going to bring up that Arizona game.
Because you probably really wanted that one.
I really, really wanted that one.
Yeah.
I think everyone did, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
We'll go on with our week. All right. Well, Kayla, it's been great to have you on here. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody before we get out of here?
Shout out to Hillary, Chelsea, and Rachel who are here supporting today.
There you go. Give a whoop.
Shout out.
Come on,
Yeah.
there we
Rachel
go.
and Chelsea are big time supporters. They're sit courtside every game. So
We
they're-
tried, but we couldn't get tickets. They were sold out.
They're sold out,
for
which is
2
good.
years.
It's
For
good.
2 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
they got
you?
lucky, yeah.
Grandfather dinner for you didn't hear. That's not fair. That's nepotism. I don't like that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kayla, for coming on. We
Thank
really
you for
appreciate it.
having me.
Wait a minute, Jack.
Well,
you know, always have something.
Oh, it's Shane's strange question of the day.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's not even that strange, but you grew up in Texas. I'm assuming you're probably a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
There
she
you go.
doesn't want to admit
Yes,
it, but
I am a Cowboys fan.
and that's fine. I just give us your Super Bowl prediction.
Oh.
You like everybody?
But
Like,
it's like,
you can't root for the Eagles, right?
I
You
can't root for the Eagles because then you just hear about it for forever.
So you're going to root for Mahomes, or
I'm neutral. I'm probably not even going to watch if I'm being
Well,
completely honest. We're going to be on the road. I'm going to be
yeah,
reading a book or something.
yeah.
yeah.
But Mahomes is an East Texas guy.
He
was
Texas Tech.
he was raised about an
And he
hour
never
from.
beat WVU, by the way.
Yeah, I do like Mahomes. I like Travis Kelce. I would say I guess the Chiefs.
Yeah.
All right,
That's my pick.
I'm
too.
more upset about the Mavs right now than anything. It's
Oh,
ruined
yeah.
my last 2 days really bad.
Yeah. That's
did
I
get
bawled
your
on the
didn't
way home yesterday. Wait, so long story short, November, we see that the Mavs are playing at the Cavs
Uh-huh.
yesterday. We buy tickets, sit behind the Mavs bench, that section.
Nice.
I was already upset because Luka wasn't going to play because he was hurt.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, we're still going. I want to see Kyrie.
Uh-huh.
Well, then the trade happens. I wake up. She's like, Hillary's like, well, did you see what happened? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, they traded Luka to the Lakers. I'm like, no, they didn't. No, we're not going. I was like, what am I supposed to wear? Because I wear a Luka jersey.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that.
Luka
and then
with a big X for drawing on the back.
Well,
of
it's
it.
not even. It's I don't cover up the Mavs. It's not even Luka. He didn't want to leave. So I'm mad at the Mavericks right now, just like I'm mad at Jerry Jones all the time.
Oh,
I mean,
so what's his name? What's the Shark Tank guy's name? Cuban.
I'm not mad at Cuban. He sold the team.
Oh, he did. That's right. That's right.
This was the first non-Cuban decision. He
Yeah.
never would have done that. He said he would get a divorce before he'd let Luka go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
all right. Well, I'm going Kansas City because one of my Chads, my cousin Chad's a big Kansas City guy, so I don't want to see him upset. So, what's your prediction, Chad?
I don't
The other
know.
Chad.
I'm too busy watching WVU women's basketball to follow NFL. That's my issue at WVU men's football. I'm too busy for.
All right. We'll go with your neutral.
I'm neutral. I'm just hoping for a good game.
yeah,
That's what I'm
good
hoping
game
for.
and a good halftime show.
Good game, and hope
Yeah.
it doesn't go into overtime so I can go to bed.
What's the over under on number of times they'll show Taylor Swift?
Ooh, what do y'all think? Yeah, it's gonna be high.
9? 9? 9? I think 9's a good over.
You'll show her at least 5 times during the halftime show.
Yes, her reacting to the halftime
Yes.
show. Yeah.
She might be in it. She has a song with Kendrick Lamar, so she might be in it. Yeah, what's the over under on that one?
Uh,
All right.
Well, that was my final question.
All right. That dwelled off on some tangents there.
Well, that's what
I don't know.
That's what I wanted.
All right.
I like
That's good.
tangents.
That's good. All right. Well, again, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Thanks again to Kayla Scott, Director of Basketball Operations. Great guest. We had a great time with her.
Yep, and you nailed it twice with the K.
I know. And then actually she confused me more when she talked about when she got her first pepperoni roll with what is Kylie?
Oh, it's the daughter. Yeah,
Is it
that's a whole.
is it another K? There I was like, who?
Yeah, I was confused.
Whose game is? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Another K person.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But before we carry on, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Carpenter Marty Transportation. They can perform traffic impact studies along with roadway and bridge improvements. Located in Charleston, West Virginia. Visit cmtran.com or call 304-989-3680. That's cmtran.com or call 304-989-3680 for more information. Shout out to Carpenter Marty. We're getting some Martys here soon, aren't we? Didn't you tell me
Yeah,
that?
the 15th, I think, is Bill's going to make the trip.
Bill Marty is going to be here. None of the rest of the Marty clan. He's going bachelor. He's going to bachelor.
Yeah, he's going solo. He just asked for some couch space. So
Some
he's couch space.
Is that a weekend?
Yeah, it's a Saturday game.
Oh my. The Martys might get a little bit. Bill might get a little bit rowdy with us.
We'll see.
We'll
Let's
see.
hope. We can only hope.
Well, I don't even know if I can get rowdy anymore. We try, but I just got to get to bed by 8. But looking back, because we missed a game for vacation, not my vacation, somebody
took off random.
Yeah.
What do they call those? A whim?
Yeah, on a web. But we haven't seen you since before the Arizona State game.
Yeah.
So we looked great against Arizona. Then you went on vacation and stuff got messy. And then we looked great against Arizona State back home. Something happened there on that Saturday. I don't know. Oh, it was a bad day. It was a bad day.
It was. Shooting was bad. Was probably
1 for 12 on threes.
1 for 12. And it's sort of what kind of Oklahoma State came here and kind of done the same thing as we did. So I think it just goes to a lot of it is I think people underestimate how difficult it is to win on the road, particularly when you have those back-to-back road games.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be. It can't.
Well,
be
well,
easy.
like Kayla was saying, they got 3 5-game road trips.
Yeah.
3 5-day road trips this year, I
Yeah,
should say.
I mean that's tough, and you don't think about all the different things that you're dealing with as you travel and delays, and I mean it's just it's you're not in your routine, and most people don't like getting out of the routine. So when you get out of your routine, it's going to disrupt things. So and the crowd, the away crowd's always.
Oh, that's crazy. K-State averages 10 grand a game.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to give the shout out to us for the Oklahoma State at over 5,000, 5,200.
Yeah, 47 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's what we need, and I think people are starting to kind of wake up to this program and how good they are.
Obviously, man, it was amazing on Saturday, man. That lower bowl was almost completely filled. It was really great. It was a great atmosphere. Well, the atmosphere was weird for that Oak State game. It was, I don't know what. I mean, we won, and it was never really in question, but there was just.
It was
the energy was weird in the Coliseum that day. But it was really weird.
I thought it was loud at times, but I think Coach Kellogg in his post game made a comment that he thought that was as loud as it's been in there. I mean, you kind of got to take out the kids game, the education day game, because it's a different loud. It's a different kind of loud.
That's a milk curdling loud right there.
Yeah, but. No, Mountaineer fans keep coming out and supporting this team. I mean, it's great products. They're fun to watch. I mean, I don't know. Depending on how you look at basketball, I don't know if the Oklahoma State game was. I don't know if it's fun to watch. I mean, if you like a defensive game,
I mean, defensive. Well, what did we have? We had 70-something, and we still, like you said in the post game, held the team is well into the 70s average. Score in the 50s.
I mean, we had one stretch of that game that they didn't score for over 11 minutes. And if you don't score for 11 minutes, we should have went on a bigger run than we did.
Well, that was the thing. We didn't score for probably 7.
I know.
That was the issue. It was like it's still 7-6. It was 7-6 forever.
Yeah, what did they have? 14 points in the first half, I think.
Yeah, maybe? It was something crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean. There's still some standouts to that game, though.
Oh yeah.
I guess my memory's freshest with that game as opposed to the Arizona State game. But man, I thought there's a few players that play. Of course,
Sydney Shaw.
Yeah, I think she had 18.
Yeah, she was like 7 of 8 for field goal.
Yeah, she played really well, and actually I had. Yeah, she had 18, 3 for 6, 7 of 10 overall, 3 for 6 from 3. I mean, JJ played. She had 8 steals, which is pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, that's huge. She made 3rd place.
Yeah,
3rd place all time, and she's made the top 10 all time in the Big 12. 3rd place all time WVU, top 10 all time.
Yeah,
Big 12. That's huge, man. That's huge. She was going for the record, but she's not going to get it.
Yeah, but
she's not going to get it.
But impressive.
Still amazing.
Run.
Still amazing.
Yeah, Sydney Woodley came in and played
some good good
minutes. I think she had 20 minutes or so, which was probably maybe the most she's had. Of course, JJ and Harrison both got into some foul.
Well, Jordan did right off the bat. I think it was like 2.5 minutes in, and she had 2 fouls instantly. Bam.
Yeah, she did. She did have some foul trouble early, and
the JJ to start second half she had 1, and then within 2 minutes she had 3. She had 1 in the first half, and then she had 3 within 2.5 minutes of the start of the second half. It's pretty crazy, but I mean, and he brought that up too. It's amazing how they persevered through that. They were able not to have JJ and Jordan on the court.
Probably not at least at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I am impressed with Woodley. I think I misspoke the last episode, and I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about Woodley when
But
I said Shaw, but I meant Woodley.
yeah.
But yeah, if she can get her offense figured out a little bit, she's dangerous. She's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, just to have somebody of her, I mean, just defensive ability coming off the bench.
Oh yeah, no,
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah,
That's huge. If somebody needs to take a gasser and, you know, they've got that to shove in put in your face while our starter takes a gas, you know, takes a breather.
Yeah, I mean, I guess talking about taking a gasser, another, I guess, shout out to Watson because she played 40 minutes.
Yeah, she
didn't
did.
come off the court.
She did.
So,
What were her stats? What were her stats?
She had like 9 rebounds. She didn't score a lot, but she just does what she does.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. How many points did she have here? She had
7.
7 points, 4 steals, 2 blocks, 9 rebounds.
She's out there making a huge difference.
Yeah. And she always does. And this, I mean, they all do. They all do.
Yeah, I mean, I thought in general. I mean, you know, Jordan Thomas came in and played pretty well. She had a couple. At least I know one pretty sweet block. JJ had a pretty nice block.
Yeah, that
too.
was bad. That was bad. Down right in front of us is where that was at.
Yeah.
Tears got some play time too. That Oak State game, it was nice. Free throws dropped off a little bit there though. You know, dropped down 8-14. That's not great. But
that one, I mean, if you slack somewhere else, that's where your defense needs to pick up, and that's what they did at home. That's their.
I'll tell you what. With the addition of the new bigs, we haven't been dominating on the boards, but we're not getting blown out on the boards like we used to. I mean, at least we're within a few rebounds of each team. You know,
right.
Unlike losing by 10 to 15 bounds every game. You know. Right. Relying on our defense to win it. So we got that. But we're moving on. I hate Arizona. But coming up Wednesday.
Kansas at home?
Yeah, Kansas at home.
Not very many of these home games left.
No, there's not. There's not.
Kind of bummed me out a little bit.
It is. I was thinking that. I was telling that to Shelly. It's like a month away. We'll be in Kansas City for the tournament, which is crazy. But we got Kansas coming up. They're 14-8. I believe 4-7 in the conference.
They don't beat us at home.
I don't think so either. But if we have one of the road chokes that we've had, they're a good enough team to beat us if we choke as bad as we had, had those falters on the road. You know what I'm saying? Right. Where we just crap it.
Yeah.
They're good enough to beat us if we crap our pants. But otherwise, like you said,
no,
we're at home.
It's not a guarantee. I mean, no win's guaranteed, but I feel good about that one.
Well, the next one I feel even better about. Houston. I mean, they're 5-17, 1-10 in the conference. And on my notes, I put the only way we lose this game is if Kayla sends bus to wrong arena. That's the only way we're losing that game.
We're going to talk to her again and make sure she's got the address right.
Yeah. They're God bless them. But they're getting worked by everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bottom of the barrel of the Big 12. We would have to have the most monumental of meltdowns to lose that game.
Yeah.
And I don't feel really nervous about any of them. I got scolded, by the way.
The Zimmermans will be happy.
Yeah.
Zimmermans will be happy. Did they already scold you about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they told me. They were like, he goes, hey, man, you need to quit saying teams you're scared of because when you say that, we lose to those teams. So just stop. So I'm not really scared of any team coming up to the next week. I don't have any trepidation like I did in the past.
Perfect.
So I think we're good on that.
All right. I like it.
All right, man. I do too. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to our title sponsor, Tri-County Electric. They specialize in electrical services for large-scale commercial, institutional, and industrial projects. As an electrical service contractor, they design and construct power distribution and data communication systems in diverse and complex environments, including healthcare, manufacturing, and biotech facilities. They also handle heavy industrial and hazardous locations, in addition to private and public sector environments. Visit pinline.com/services/Tri-County Electric or call 724-887-9110 for more information. All right, well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us for Kayla Scott, Shane Terrell. I'm Chad Adkins. Until next time, we'll see you at the Coliseum.